Okay, I'm doing this, so stay quiet, okay?
Okay.
I'm just not talking yet because I'm getting sugar. I'm eating sugar for my coffee.
You always do.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I don't know. All right. So we're going to try this out. There's something I have to try here, people. Hi, April. I'm going to be packing up your box very soon. You and Lucy. I got into War Room 1. I looked in there. I pulled out my hair almost, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like a tornado went through it. And I'm like, oh, just breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay. All right. So I'm working on it. Okay. Like I said, I got to be at peace. But that room is like a tornado. Like I said, it's all. Here's my issue, though. I know. You're being patient. I know. Just a little while longer. Here's my issue, though. We've got YouTube staff. I'm not going to say YouTube because that's just a trademark of a corporation. Okay, that's what YouTube is. But we've got some mole, a YouTube staff mole that's in among the computers with their file folder waiting for my videos. Do you know that in 2019, this is just a test, okay? In 2019, right? 500 hours. I'm pretty sure it's 400 or 500 hours a minute are uploaded in terms of videos onto YouTube every minute. 400 to 500 hours of YouTube videos are uploaded to YouTube every minute. You do the math. How is it that I upload a video and within 11 views out of 400 hours a minute of videos being uploaded to YouTube, but my video is 45 minutes, okay? My video is 45 minutes, and every minute there's 400 hours of video being uploaded to YouTube, but yet it's my video that gets me a community something. And now I like, and they don't even narrow in on what it is. I'm assuming you can hear me, right? Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. We know, let me just talk this out because I'm so angry that I don't even want to do videos for YouTube. If you notice, I said that, right? For YouTube anymore because they take everything for granted, right? Because they're they play favoritism. They've been doing it for years, right? I've said in the past that honestly, I think that and because I'm a Canadian and a nobody sitting up in Canada, my channel is an easy channel to manipulate through their algorithms, their shadow banning techniques, their gang stalking with their thumbs down with their multiple 25 trolls, all coming in and right. If they want to promote a video, if I upload a video, right, and YouTube wants to promote it, that video will get hundreds of views within minutes. And I've seen it happen here and there throughout the years on my videos, but the majority of them just sit like a lump on a log and don't go anywhere because we know they're being shadow banned, right? So anyway, I got a strike or something. I got a video taken down, right? For, oh my God, I'm so angry for being misleading with spam or for being deceptive, which I'm not trying to be. And this is why I'm doing this live stream, because before I did this one, Okay. I did another one and I just recorded it. Okay. Now, I'm not very good with live stream, too much pressure in my head, too many things on my mind, working like a dog out in the yard, whatever. Right. So it's not like everything just falls into place nice and easy for me. Right. It doesn't. I struggle with live streams because I don't do them all the time. So anyway, I did one. It should be recorded, but I haven't uploaded it yet. Okay. I'm going to try and upload that pre-recorded live stream in about 4 or 5 days from now. I'm going to try. To see where it falls in on my grid within what you're looking at right there. Well, it wouldn't be that page. It would be, I don't know. See, I don't know how screen share really works on this, but I'm not going to get nervous because I'm just not going to get nervous here, because I get nervous because I feel like I'm boring you guys or I'm wasting your time. And I shouldn't feel like that because, it's not like I'm very good at this in the first place. Okay. I want to change this page, but before I do that, we should look at it. And I'm only using one computer screen, so that makes it a little harder trying to transition from page to page, right? So anyway, you can see what YouTube has done, right? Because there was something in that video that they didn't like, okay? But because of what they've done, they have now got me scared, okay? And this is the point. This is why I don't want to be in this bad relationship with YouTube anymore. It's enough when you go out and you do park events and little events outside businesses and that kind of thing, and you've got music playing because you're, trying to bring the people together for goodwill, to promote community wellness and community programs and universal lunch and school restoration and, everything for all the right reasons. And then you upload onto a public website, right? And they just come in and chop you off at the knees with copyright this and copyright that and mute this and block that. And after several years, you just get tired of it. So I just kind of stopped doing those events because I didn't want to do the event, record it, come home, upload it, and have a big, huge headache to be basically abused. As you go on to other channels and they're playing music, they're doing this, they're doing that, and they're doing fine, where you're being silenced, basically. Right? So that's kind of one of the main reasons, really, honest to God. If I could go out and do an event, right, and have my DJ equipment and just record, big or small, it wouldn't matter, and then upload without YouTube oppressing the process, I'd be more apt to go out and do everything, people. I've got all the musical instruments. I still have them. I still have the craft materials and stuff that when I did those events, I'd bring little craft things or stuff with me. I still have that stuff. My kids get angry because I keep on with it. Oh, get rid of it. You're not doing things with the kids anymore, Mom. You don't need it. Well, actually, I do. I've got grandkids. Auntie Shimei wanted me to get out there and start doing things. But YouTube makes it so difficult because as soon as I go off and do something, if there's music involved, I get beat up over it, people. And it's figuratively speaking, I get beat up over it. That's what I mean by being in an abusive relationship. Okay. And then every now and then throughout the years since Uncle John's been gone, right, and what's happened to Shimei, the corporations, they come in, they put their little whatever complaint in with certain videos. So 1 or 2 or 3, 4 videos, in regards to CIBC Bank or, maybe Andrew the Dragon, Fraser Health Authority, something like that. I'd have to go into my videos. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could re-upload them, but I just, for what it's worth, I'm not a malicious person. I don't do YouTube for malicious reasons. And this is why I'm doing this live stream, because in order for me to be able to restream that little recording that I just did before this one, I have to have a few more videos ahead of it to see that where it comes up in my, where, right? When I'm doing that type of video, in terms of, because if I'm lying, people, if I am giving misinformation in regards to what the province of British Columbia, Canada, and am I going to get into trouble? Is YouTube going to come in and take my fucking video down and say I'm being deceptive and that I'm leading you to a different link? Or, like they don't give you exactly what it is that you did wrong. You're left wondering, right? Okay. So anyway, but if I'm wrong, literally, if I am wrong, and this, what I'm going to do in the next week or so, convinces me that I have been giving out misinformation because I didn't fact check what I was saying in terms of how HTML source code works on a computer and web pages, right? Then I will make a public apology. And I will correct the misinformation. I've been wanting to do that in terms of fact checking what I'm doing right now, or going to be doing over the next week or so. But the thing is, this flashing, just the whole 9 yards, and with the pressure of the yard and whatnot, and just, blah and blah and blah, right? It just hasn't been a priority. But now that I'm on the chopping block with YouTube and they can come in, I've got 2,114 videos, people. You do the math. 2,114 videos that are available to view on YouTube as they shadow ban, censor, bury, and now begin to strike my channel for ambiguous reasons where I can't even determine where I went wrong. And I could be making the same mistake right now, finish this live stream, come back 2 hours later, because remember, there's 400 hours of video being uploaded onto YouTube every minute. But for some reason, my videos are very interesting to the point where I get 11 views and I get striked for deceptive practices, for scams, for spam. But they're not being specific and showing me exactly where I'm doing those things. They're being ambiguous about it, and now have opened the stage where they can come in and go into past videos like they do with copyright. They'll copyright a video with me doing this outside of by right. We'll just use that as an example, right? I'll go through all the stress and, and try and get those copyrights released. I'd say 80 to 85% of the time I can, but the other 15, 10% or whatever, 20% I can't, because they've decided to mute the whole video or block the whole video, right? And these are like public events from being done by a poor woman, right? In a poor community, right? Right? This is right. And oh my God. And then I get the videos, some of them released. And then I come back 2 years later, 3 years later, to find that they've been copyrighted again by a different music group. And I have to start all over again. Like, that's bullshit. Right? So anyway, it's the same situation. Right? What are they going to do? If they're, they're obviously out to get me. They have never promoted the foundation. They've never promoted the channel. Never. Not from the fucking get-go. I was some Canadian hick sitting up in freaking North, right? That they could just manipulate here and there, do their little experiments with their fucking algorithms and this and that, and nobody's gonna catch on because she's just nobody sitting up in fucking Canada, right? You know what I mean? And they've been getting away with it, people. I can swear when they brought in that troll shit, I don't know how long. Let me read. I can't see. I have to put on my glasses. No, I've never been monetized. And here's another thing. I've been on YouTube since 2009. Since 2009, my son started this channel for me because of the foundation, right? I never did it. My son did it. And then, I started taking over. And then 2011, I told you I went off and bought a bunch of pots and pans and appliances and, right? And trying to, be a YouTube creator. And, what can I talk about, right? I'm a nobody, but I have a foundation. I believe in what I work on and blah, blah, blah. And then, shit, fucking terrible stuff started to happen to my family. And I'm like, okay, you can hide it. Put your head in shame. Don't talk about it. Be embarrassed. Be the bitch, right? Or you can stand up. You can fight for human rights, including for your family's rights, right? You can be a little bit of a light in a dark tunnel, right? For people that are going through what you're going through, right? Or have gone through. You do have a foundation. You got to stay strong, right? Isn't that what it's about? Face facts, face reality, right? Don't be afraid to face the fucking future. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. I've been doing that all these years, but obviously YouTube doesn't like it because it calls out the corporations, right? It calls out the government. It exposes the two-tiered society, the two-tiered system that we have. And so what does YouTube do? YouTube, since 2009, through their shadow banning and everything that they've done with my channel, because I'm sure they've done a few things, right? I have 836 subscribers. So I don't meet that 1,000 mark. They like to keep me below it. So I couldn't even monetize if I want to. After Truth for Reality, Tommy, I hope, I always stumble on his channel name. It's KIL, Killuminati Media, Tommy. Everybody knows Tommy, right? Between those two and Tiffany Draper talking about Shimei and helping me to get that information out there, my subscribers did jump up from 400 to about 800 between those three YouTubers, right? And it goes from 836, it will drop down to 815, boom, like in a day. And then it creeps back up and it never goes past 832 subscribers. Never. And if it did, and I got to 1,000, and if I was, because I think you have a choice if you want to monetize or not, and if I chose to do that for this channel, I wouldn't monetize it for me. You see, that's the thing. I would let the money accumulate and somehow redirect it back to the foundation so that it could benefit the community in the United States and in America and in Canada. Because that's what this channel has always been about. Right? But you see, YouTube never gives me that chance because they're always suppressing my channel. And now they're threatening to shut it down. Right? What they've got going now is psychological warfare. Let's see if I can bring it up. Okay, let me just read. Because somebody's reporting your videos. Well, yeah, we know who that is in light of what's going on with Shimei. I mean, that's a given. We know what's going on with Uncle John still in the background. That's a given. Not to mention just people in general, right? Okay, So let me see if I can change this. How do I change this fluently? Can I go into here? See, here's, I don't know if you can see that. You see, this is where you want a second screen. Right? I don't know. I'm going to try and click this on. Hold on. This is where you start to look stupid. Well, me, right? This is where I start to look stupid. You can only do, you can't really transition these. Here, I'm going to go into here. Let's see if that changed. Okay. Let's see if it changed. No, you see, it's not changing. It's not changing. I changed the page, but it's not changing. Right? This is why I don't like using StreamYard, not to mention the flashing. I've got 300 internet speed. I know you do, you know, and here's the thing, April, I know there's a few people out there that enjoy watching my videos for informational purposes, for inspirational purposes, for motivational factors, right? And just for general bullshit, right? Right? You know, right? And isn't that what YouTube is supposed to be about, right? Just be yourself, you know, tell it like it is, and right? You right? Isn't that what YouTube started out to be? But for some reason, they've lumped me in with these big YouTube channels that are all getting, like, SG Report got wiped out, Alex Jones got wiped out, Press for Truth got wiped out, you know, so on. All these people have gotten wiped out with their 150,000 subscribers. I'm sitting at 832, been sitting like that for the last 10 years. Well, not 10 years, but 3 years, right? And nothing moves, right? The cobwebs are growing. You know, you can see the spider. I mean, there's always spiders, right? So, right? And YouTube's on full fucking attack mode because I'm happening to I'm trying to document fraud on the fly in terms of as it's happening. But for some reason, you're not allowed to do that on YouTube, because it becomes deceptive, even though what you're documenting is deceptive and potentially quite serious. So I'm going to try and change this. Like, I don't know how to change this. Like, every time you want to do screen share, you have to bring up a new screen. Is that working? Okay, here we go. All right. It's not as fluent as I would like it to work, but so here's my issue. Okay. Before you appeal, well, they're giving me a chance to appeal again, even though it says I can't appeal anymore. If you notice, this is a new browser. Oh, I don't know. It says because I already appealed, and it was immediately denied. Immediately, within 5 fucking minutes. I like, that's how fast it was denied. I don't even think that they read the appeal, because they had determined that they were going to take down that video, and they just picked something within their guidelines to do it, and they kept it very ambiguous so that you don't know what you did wrong, and they instilled fear and have pretty much ostracized, in my opinion, me, because this video itself could create problems. You were misleading the public. No, I'm trying to document, first of all, what's going on, and two, work on verifying that what I got penalized for is true. Okay. Because I plan on taking this to court, right? It's not just willy-nilly hearsay stuff. Okay. Right. And is that why YouTube wants to take it down? Because they don't want the public knowing that I actually have the BALLS to take it as far as writing it down in another lawsuit and taking it to court to hold my government to account that they're providing misinformation to the public through this act of the criminal code, this section under the criminal code, this section under the criminal code of Canada, this section under the criminal code of Canada. I'm even afraid to say the fucking sections right now because we don't know what YouTube is going to do now that they're on that 3-strike path. And this is the point of this video. And that's the reason why I did the recording that I'm going to try and re-upload in about 4 or 5 days from now to find out where it freaking falls in, to verify that what I've been saying is true, nothing but true. And then I'm going to take it one level up higher. That's when I'm going to write the CEO of Google and let that individual know that no matter what I do with YouTube, how I approach YouTube, it doesn't matter if it's trademark infringement, freaking form, or if it's a complaint under bullying, sexual harassment, or sexual exploitation. Don't forget, Julian's sister was running around posting nude pictures of Shemaine. YouTube did absolutely nothing about that. They didn't take those pictures down. She ended up taking them down herself, but not YouTube. Spam. Right? Bullying. YouTube ignores it all when it relates to me and my trademark or my channel. But when it relates to a corporation, they're on it like a dirty fucking shirt. So before I go too far with it, because you see, I have other channels now that I can upload to if I want. As a matter of fact, I'll Google New Nations Unity on here when we're done so that you can see, because I'm going to try and make a bit of a transition here. Not because I need a backup channel. I will fight to keep this channel before I will start a backup channel and be like everybody else, because I've already earned my way. I've been on YouTube putting up with YouTube abuse since 2009. Okay. And it's come from multiple directions. All right. And they're still practicing something here that's, in my opinion, very abusive. Okay. To control, to manipulate, to censor, to hide, to cover up the severity of some of the things that I talk about. Because they're trying to control the narrative. Right? But yet they don't protect the public themselves. They don't protect the public from AI holograms on YouTube, giving out false information. They don't protect the viewers, right? The public, right? From synthetic human beings that are giving out false information, that are in positions of authority, right? They're ignoring that, okay? And then if somebody should call them out on it through documenting certain acts that lean towards criminal activity based on AI, holograms, clones, synthetics, individuals, infected people that are like gone mad in a political realm, right? YouTube is covering that up. Okay. Basically, right? And so anyway, I've decided that I'm going to get a hold of the CEO of Google, because Google is the parent company of YouTube, right? And if I go onto my search, if you go into search and you search New Nations Unity and it comes up with images for New Nations Unity, I mean, what do we get? We get Julian in there with his sister spamming federal trademarks with scams and deceptions. right? She's trying to capitalize off of federal trademarks simply because she knows if she can put New Nations Unity in her fucking tag, title, wherever, all right, it's going to come up and trump everything else. It's going to wipe me out. And so if you try and get them removed from Google, Google will tell you, you take it to the website. Try and deal with the individual that's spamming you. And if they can't do it, take it to the website. I've taken it to the website. I've taken it to YouTube. YouTube does nothing. If anything, they encourage it. They mock it. They want it to fucking happen, right? Public humiliation, right? As they come in and blindside me with this shit, okay? And not even tell me what the hell it is that I supposedly did wrong. Okay? So being that YouTube ignores anything that I have to say when it comes to what they're accusing me of, I'm going to take it to the CEO of Google. And I'm going to take it right from the freaking beginning with all those copyrights and how YouTube will just be a real party pooper, right? When it comes to community events and how they have formulated how my organization basically, right, should act, which means be a dud. Don't go out and do anything, because if you do, you're going to get penalized. Right? Doesn't matter if you're a justice warrior or if you're just, somebody out there trying to just, bring people together so that they can relax and have a good time, walk away feeling empowered. YouTube doesn't fucking, that's not, it's a $15 billion company. They don't need to worry about stuff like that because they're not in the community. They're in everybody's houses, but they're actually not in the community. They're not part of the community. They are controlling the community. They are dictating to the community what the community should look at, do, see, hear, be, right? And that's why they attack channels like mine, because I'm not going to go and do my little canning video and pretend that everything is happy, right? Just so that I can maybe get monetized and make a bit of money and brag to my friends how I'm a YouTube creator on the up and coming, ladder of success because I happen to know how to cook fucking bread. Or put together a car engine. Could you see me putting together a car engine? All right, members and fans, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take out my engine. This is a 250. It's a great, great engine, but it needs to be rebuilt. And we're going to start right here with this one bolt. Now, there's a video for you. See, YouTube would like that kind of video. Yeah, because it's just, I don't want to put down rebuilding motors to be blasé, but it's just not really, most people's forte in life, right? So anyway, I feel like I'm on the chopping block here, and I am going to be writing the CEO of Google, because basically YouTube refuses to act on any request that I've put forward to them, whether it's bullying, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And it's obviously they're trying to now go towards shutting down my channel, as they're being ambiguous about it. And being that they won't take down the videos that I find offensive towards two federal trademark names and that are misleading or spamming, right? I'm not saying that girl can't talk about me. She can do her little videos and talk all she wants, but she can remove New Nations Unity out of the equation. She doesn't need to get my attention outside of, she's looking for attention for herself. And YouTube has provided that attention to her as they've turned around now and they're attacking the victim, basically, right? And being that YouTube, right, doesn't want to address that issue, right? And they're just upping the ante and making me freaking paranoid to even sit there and talk about making homemade vanilla extract, which I will do for the people that, like to watch that kind of stuff, because I was looking forward to it I got my vanilla beans. And being that I have to fact check what I've been talking about in regards to the British Columbia Canadian government and how I think that they've committed this act section under the Criminal Code of Canada, this act under this section of the Criminal Code of Canada, and so on and so on and so on. I got to make sure that I've got my fucking facts checked straight, right? So that's what I'm going to do. But as I do it, I'm waiting for this by YouTube, because that's the bandwagon that they put me on, right? And we need to ask ourselves why. Again, if it turns out I'm wrong, I will make a YouTube apology in regards to casting a cloud over my government. Okay? But if I'm right, then I'm going to use it in court. That's what I'm going to do. Because as far as I'm concerned, 4 people have had premature deaths that are unaccounted for. Okay? There is no justice for those 4 people that died 2 days ago from the time that pre-recorded live stream was restreamed, when in fact that pre-recorded live stream was streamed a week ago and put on hold for a week. Right? And this is what makes me think this is what YouTube doesn't want the public to know. And that's why they're being ambiguous with what they're doing. Right? And when I write the CEO, I'm going to let him know exactly what I think. And because I do own federal trademarks names, I have to take care of the paperwork, right? You know, and I'm coming up for a review with having to re-register. I've mentioned this before, in the United States for another 10 years. I've owned the trademark for 20 years. Has it gotten me very far? No, it hasn't. But at the end of the day, it's still valid. Okay. I still believe in the total concept of how it all started, right? And but the thing is, the federal government in the United States, they brought in legislation where people that are not in the United States, right, in terms of like U.S. citizen, they live outside of the United States, and if we own trademarks in the United States, we have to hire American lawyers to do the paperwork. In the beginning, I had a Canadian lawyer, right, that did all that. But right now I have technically no lawyer, right? The lawyer that started the process and was with me for years and years and years and years, she's retired. But through the new legislation under the Trump administration, I have no choice, to hire a U.S. American intellectual property lawyer, right, to re-register for another 10 years, because that's just the way it is. And then the Canadian re-registration is in 2025, right? Canadian is every 15 years. You have to it's just fees, and it's just to verify that you're still around, kind of thing, right? And that type of stuff, right? Well, Canadian is every 15 years and American is every 10 years. It's going to cost me about, I don't know, I think it's $500 US per class. I have 4 classes, add on 33%, exchange rate. So you do the math. I'm looking at what, $2,900 just for that. And then I'm quoting out prices to how much a lawyer, an American lawyer, would charge me to do that when the time comes, which is within a year or so. So I've got time to budget around that, right? Because I'm not ready to give up on my community yet, people. I'm not ready to give up on the American people yet, people. I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. I may never be ready to give up. Okay. You don't do something for 20 years to be fucking YouTube's bitch. And that's pretty much what they put me in, as a bitch position. I feel like they're bitch. Okay. I was so angry with what they did that I just want to not do any videos, but I have to do these videos for the next little while because I need to confirm with myself, because I just haven't done it. I was going to do it, right? But I know how HTML works, This is not common court. Okay, a pre-recorded live stream isn't, I should say, a new live stream isn't just going to jump in halfway down into five days ago. Okay, if it's a legitimate live stream, it's going to come up right in the front, right from the get-go. If it's a pre-recorded live stream and it's put on hold for a week and then you restream, it's going to come in where it was first done. It's not going to just bounce backwards, or I should say bounce forward. This one here is not going to bounce backwards. It's impossible. You got to be a pretty good damn source coder, like a webmaster, to be able to make a video just bounce backwards a week in the past before it bounces forward again. There is no logic around it. And this is why YouTube is on the attack with my channel, because they know that what's going on is not just us little people spreading misinformation, but we're the ones that are being attacked for supposedly spreading misinformation when we're actually exposing the misinformation. Well, YouTube does nothing to correct that problem. And that's why the CEO of Google needs to get involved, because he can take down those videos off the search engine that come in under New Nations Unity images, being that the baby company, YouTube, won't fucking listen to daddy. And being that I'm talking to a lawyer now, well, I'm not talking, but I'm making inquiries, right, with American lawyers in California. Okay, YouTube is located in California. Somebody said, oh, sue YouTube. No, it's not that simple, because YouTube came in, a year ago, 6 months ago, whatever it was, with their new terms, even though you've been with them since 2009. Right? Where that if you want to sue the company, you have to be doing it in their state. I can't file it in British Columbia, Canada. I have to be in California to file it. Unless, of course, you get a lawyer to file it for you. Right? Okay. Doesn't mean I can't add it into my lawsuit when I take my government to court. Right? In terms of lawsuit number 4. Right? I can add in how YouTube is in partnership with the British Columbia Canadian government and are, providing false information or being this, that, and everything else under the Criminal Code of Canada, and they're in cahoots with each other, right? And I've got the documentation, in my opinion, to prove that. I can do that here, but I can't technically, legally, under the new guidelines in terms of the, you agree, if you use this channel, you agree that you can't sue us unless you're in California. Right? As if I want to sue YouTube. Okay. But in light of everything that's going on, if a legitimate American lawyer says, yeah, maybe you do have a case, I'd be open to suggestions. Let's just put it that way. Right? But in the meantime, my mission right now is to cross-check what I'm saying in terms of fake pre-recorded live streams being restreamed up to 1 week later with false statistics regarding deaths and infection rates for a political agenda that is not healthy and conducive for a well-rounded, prosperous society, which goes against everything that I represent in regards to the foundation that I've been working on for 20 years. So here we go. Submit an appeal. I did that. It was denied. And then I looked up, see, you can't change. It's so hard to change the page. It's not fluent. Sorry. I have to stop the screen share. Right. in order to be able to get another one. Right. And I'm looking for it, obviously. Oh my God. This is where it gets to be this is where it gets to be I'm wasting people's time. Right? Hold on. I'm trying to bring up the page where they got me. Okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. My eyes really are bothering me right now. And of course, we know they're watching, right? Like I said, 400 hours of video time is uploaded to YouTube every minute. My video is 45 minutes long, and within 11 minutes, within 11 views, I'm on the chopping block. Okay, there we go. You see that? Spam, deceptive practices, and scam policies. Hi, Sweet Pea. I'm on the chopping block here. I have to fight for my channel. I got to take it to the big wigs up in freaking Google. Maybe get some lawyers involved. Who knows? Okay. So can I move this down like this? No. I have to do it this way. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about this because we need to determine what I did wrong. You see, that's the thing. They leave you hanging. You don't know what you did wrong. You really don't, because they're not specific to what it is that you did wrong. They just accuse you of something, and then they penalize you for it, and then they leave you wondering as he's fine, happy, right? Growing. Everybody's okay. Yeah. Let me read this. YouTube doesn't allow spam, scams, or other deceptive practices that take advantage of the YouTube community. Okay, now, anyone that's been around my YouTube channel, they know what they're going to get. If I run into people out in public or wherever I go and I say, oh, I have a YouTube channel, blah, 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 but I'm warning you, I do tend to swear, right? I go out, I work outside like a bloody man, people. You see that. And then I come inside and I play housemaid. All right. Okay. So when you're outside working like a sailor, right, holding down the freaking ship, you're going to come in and you're going to cuss every now and then. Okay. Unless, of course, you're some religious zealot that is a Puritan that can never do nothing wrong. And you're high and mighty. And that's your life. But that's not my life. And the people that normally come to my channel, they know what they're going to get. So I'm not being deceptive, right? And I'm not sure in hell trying to take advantage of the YouTube community. The point of this is I feel that YouTube has been taking advantage of me. Okay, right? Easy for them to get rid of 2,114 videos, right, from one channel that they find personally threatening because it exposes criminal activity within their ranks. Okay. And because of that, they just want to get rid of the problem versus deal with the problem, right? Especially when they get 400 hours a minute of video being uploaded onto YouTube every minute. 400 hours of video every minute gets uploaded to YouTube, as if my voice is getting heard. But for some reason, YouTube seems to think so. Okay. So, for every video that I've done outside, for any cooking video, for any video, it doesn't matter what I've done, people. All right. You can almost say I did it for YouTube. I didn't necessarily do it for myself. Okay. I mean, who puts themselves in a line of fire and says, go ahead, shoot me. I like being beat up. I like being criticized. I like thumbs downs. I like being gay. Nobody likes to do that unless there's a reason behind it. It's called a federal trademark in 2 freaking countries that actually stands up and represents something that YouTube staff like to ignore. Okay? But still want me to be their bitch and just do videos the way they want me to do the videos. If I don't follow their guidelines, even though they're not telling me what the fuck they are, I have to do the videos for YouTube to please the YouTube viewer, like the staff. Right? The one that came in and did this. How do we know that this person is even mentally has a high, what is the IQ of, I'm thinking about this last night. What is the IQ of YouTube staff? I'd like to know. I mean, we could be dealing with a borderline freaking retard here with a 68% IQ saying, I don't like that video because they said this. Only I can't explain what it means because all I know is it didn't sound right. Isn't that what ambiguous is about? Right? Okay. So YouTube wants me to do my videos to their way. Not my way, but to their way. Right? So I become YouTube's bitch. I think I've done more than enough. All right? I've cleaned house more than enough. 2,114 fucking videos. Right? And they still want me jumping through hoops with fire now under my feet as they threaten to shut down my channel so they can get rid of everything and anything that I have said and done since 2009 and not be held to account as they trash federal trademarks names. Okay? Because that's what they're doing. They're trashing them right along with Julian's sister. Okay? In my opinion. Am I allowed to say that or am I being deceptive? I don't know. That's the game. We don't know. We also don't allow content where the main purpose is to trick others into leaving YouTube for another site. I don't do that, people. If I provide a link to another channel or video or wherever, it's just like a Wikipedia link or something like that. It's just to confirm the information so that you don't have to go hunt for it yourself. If I just make it available. Or I'll add in a link to another channel or a link to another video, sometimes within my description box, sometimes within my comments, simply to give you an opportunity to broaden your horizon in terms of critical thinking skills, in terms of like opening up your mind, giving you something to cross-reference what I'm saying so that you can formulate your own opinions. It's not because I'm trying to persuade you to believe everything I say is gospel, but more like open your mind, right? And to give you that opportunity to decide for yourself. Okay, so if YouTube wants to use that against me and manipulate it and turn it around and twist that and make it sound like I'm directing other people to other sites, right? Because why did they take down the video, people? This is what we need to know. Why? Right? I wish I could hug you. You are busy. Yes, I'm busy. And I'm building a headache here. It's actually not raining today. After this, I need to probably go outside for a little while. I am going to do the vodka with the vanilla beans to make the homemade vanilla extract. When I pack up the boxes for Lucy and April and they're ready to go in the mail, I would like to record that because that's a special moment. Do you see how YouTube now has got me down into a very narrow selection of what I can or cannot do, right? and I do it with reluctance because I know that I'm being psychologically abused by my YouTube man, right? Because if I just drop off the grid like that and just send April an email and say, oh, your box is in the mail now, in say 3 weeks from now or whatever it is, right? And she says, well, how come you didn't do a video? I mean, I'll be like, well, why? I'm just YouTube's bitch. I mean, who wants to be a bitch, people? Really, who wants to be the bitch? I've been a bitch since 2009 on YouTube. And now they're really ramming it home, in my opinion. Okay, because I'm speaking about things that are very serious in regards to how our governments are lying to us. Anyway, let's just get back on this. All right. What these policies... Okay, hold on. If you find content that violates this policy, please report it. Instructions for reporting violations of our community guidelines are available here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What these policies mean for you. If you're posting content, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of these descriptions noted below. Video spam. Content that is excessively posted, repetitive, or untargeted and does not and does one or more of the following. Okay. In light of the subject, BC government lying, right? Okay. Now, I work outside. I'm not always inside. I can't catch each and every live stream, pre-recorded live stream, whatever kind of live stream the province of British Columbia, Canada government does. Okay. And I don't make it my mission in life to do that, right? But I'm here. It comes up. I notice it. I've been doing this since June, off and on. When I first did it, it was a random act. It wasn't anything that I was looking for. I just had an awakening. I caught it, and I documented it. And then I documented it again and again. Does that become spam when you're documenting June 22nd, June 24th, we'll just say June 28th, July 9th, July 30th, right? October, so on, and September, and, here and there, right? It's not like I'm doing it weekly. It's not like I'm doing it daily. It's not like I'm doing each and every freaking live stream, right? It's just when I happen to come across it, because there's a part of my mind that doesn't believe that what I'm seeing is true. I don't want to believe myself, people, what I'm telling you when it relates to what my government has been doing. That doesn't make it spam. YouTube is trying to twist it, though. Promises viewers they'll see something, but instead directs them off-site. I didn't do that, people. Gets clicks, views, or traffic off of YouTube by promising viewers that they'll make money fast. I didn't do that, people. Why did I get this strike? Sends audience to sites that spread malware. I didn't do that, people. Misleading meta tags or thumbnails, right? I think it's just another picture of me, right? Or whatever it was. Using the title. The title is to the point. It's like an emergency. It's like a cry for help. Because people can debunk me. I dare them. I've asked them to debunk me. Show me where I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm misleading the public. If I'm right, tell me how Common Core imported itself into YouTube. I'd like to know. Otherwise, what I'm saying is true. I've said it in my past videos. Show me where I'm wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. Then, I go watch other YouTubers, some of them in British Columbia, Canada, the freedom fighters, right? I let them know what's going on, but because they're on a different mission, what I've got to say, they don't touch with a 10-foot pole because I don't come in with that predictive programming. I'm not trying to fearmonger. Okay. I don't come in and say, oh, well, you know, the vaccine's coming real quick and they're going to be freezing it in 75 degrees, 70 degrees below freaking. And I'm like, okay, so they're coming in with a vaccine that they got from Alaska, deep down in the tundra, some sort of foreign DNA. And that's why it's got to stay frozen, because they don't want to release it yet, because they're afraid of what might happen. Because it's got to be frozen at 70 degrees below zero before they can inject you with it. Okay. Convincing the public that that's what's going to happen to us. Because on the other hand, you've got the provincial government saying, yeah, well, we're waiting for the vaccine, but we're having a hard time storing it because of the storing conditions. And it's not like we can just start giving it to everybody. Well, did you even ask? Right? Now that I've got so-called proof of what I'm saying, nobody's touching it with a 10-foot pole, as we've got YouTube coming in through the fucking background now, ready to chop me off at the neck and shut down my whole channel based on ambiguous fucking information. Have they cut me off from my live yet? Like, do you see the psychological warfare? This is why I'm going to write the CEO of Google, asking them to remove those videos that are clearly spam, are deceptive, and are looking to capitalize off of federal trademark names in one way or another, right? Because YouTube refuses to do it, as they attack me for standing up for my family, my community, my country, my partnering country, and myself. Well, I'm still alive, that is. If you notice, I'm still breathing. Once I'm dead, poof, I'm gone. There's nobody going to be able to stand there for me. Okay? I have to do it now while I'm still alive, and YouTube is trying to prevent that from happening. They want me isolated all by myself, just waiting for the gang stalkers to show up one way or another and give it to me good. Okay? Well, I don't know. I don't know if these 10 people watching are interested really in what I got to say. YouTube, go answer it. It's Uncle Mark Kane.
How do you know?
Because I can hear him.
Coming.
Yeah, YouTube is petty. So I have like opened up. I am not trying to have backup channels. I'm not. I could go off and use New Nations Unity Peep Fashion, but that's for the girls and the tailors. You know, that's for sewing and you know, more nonprofit kind of like, let's get together and make something funky and, you know, do a little fundraiser and, you know, make some community programs for the kids and that kind of stuff. So I try not to import, you know, too much of this kind of stuff, right? Doesn't mean we can't use it one day, but that's not what that channel was made for, right? This channel is the main channel. This is the channel with the history of the nonprofit. This is the channel that needs to remain as is, right? And this is why I'm going to write the CEO of Google and let them know that what YouTube staff is doing is wrong. What's up? I'm doing a live stream.
Ooh,
Just so you know,
okay. How many people are watching you?
9 right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me say hi to the people.
What's that?
Hi, people.
Well, let them see you.
No.
Oh.
They can hear me. Hi, people.
No, you got to see my burly son. He's a handsome man. Handsome burly man.
Okay, well, I'll let you do that then.
Yeah. I'll talk to you soon. Sometimes when you speak in code, YouTube has no idea. I still can't believe that YouTube erased your content. But you see, and that's another thing, Universal More, I shouldn't have to speak in code. Okay? Right? I'm not doing anything wrong. Okay? I'm not a puppet. I'm not a zoo animal. Right? I'm not doing tricks for YouTube. They're trying to train me to do a certain kind of trick, right? I'm not a 3-year-old learning how to be sneaky. I shouldn't have to talk in code in order to be able to say what I need to say. And I do provide people the opportunity to, I guess you can say, debunk me or show me where I'm wrong, right? If I didn't give people that opportunity to do that, right, or to challenge me in a legitimate sense, then I could say YouTube has a point. But they don't have a point. They're just trying to shut me up because as far as I'm concerned, they're covering up 4 premature deaths that are unaccounted for, where those people have received absolutely no justice. So now I'm on a new mission. I want to know who those 4 people were, being what I think and what I seen to be true. However, I am going to fact check and restream my pre-recorded live stream that I did for 11 minutes before I got up and did this stream in about a week from now to see if Common Core kicks in on my channel. Because if it does, you will see a video documenting that process, assuming that I don't get cut off of StreamYard because my time with them is coming up in terms of paying that $300 for another year of service for a whole bunch of flashing, which I'm still reluctant to do. But before I can upload, restream that video, that one that's on hold, I have to do some of these kind of videos, right? To give those cards some time to see where that restream is going to come in on the grid if you've been watching my videos. And if it jumps in the front immediately, then we know something's up. But if it jumps 4 days ago and then jumps over to the front, then we know everything that I've been saying is absolutely 110% true. And the CEO of Google, the parent company to YouTube, needs to know what their staff is doing, because for all we know, this individual that's stalking my freaking YouTube channel and doing this shit, because he's sitting among, the computers and, he's just being sneaky himself, right? Or she or whatever, right? Being sneaky with their, white ass just sitting there and, fuck with this bitch, right? That kind of thing, and doing whatever they do. I mean, and they're getting paid. Doesn't mean YouTube's getting paid. Just means that individual's getting paid to be malicious, to hide facts. And isn't that what YouTube stands up against? Right? Don't they fight against misinformation? Isn't that why they say they're shutting down people's channels? Because they're providing misinformation? If I can prove to YouTube that my government has been providing misinformation, then don't you think that YouTube should treat that channel as an equal and start docking them, striking them, and say, clean up your act and provide correct information? We do that with the little people. We should do that with the corporations too. Isn't that what it's about? YouTube doesn't like the truth. Hello, Yahoo at yahoo.com. I am Octavia Johnson. I am a justice fighter. Yeah, I know. There's a few of us around, and we need to stick together. Okay, let me get back to reading this for a bit. This is important. Okay, sends an audience to sites that spread malware. Read that. No, I don't. That's not what that video was about. Misleading meta, right? I don't think so. Okay, so using the title. The title was to the point. Obviously, I was in distress because of the severity around the subject, right? And I feel like my voice isn't being heard. So I wanted to stress it again. I wasn't trying to spam. I wasn't trying to lie. I wasn't trying to fabricate, falsify, none of that shit. I was trying to bring it to the attention, right? That, we've got some serious issues going on here. And, description or tags to trick users to believing the content is something it is not. I said what I had to say. I showed what I had to show. I explained what was going on a little bit with my kids, right? That's like doing a video of that and throwing in a bit of cooking. I mean, there is no fast rule on how to be YouTube's bitch. Although, it's kind of like getting down to that where if you can't jump through the hoop that they want you to jump through, even though you don't know what hoop to jump through, you're just, I don't know. Manipulated media, content that has been technically manipulated or doctored. I didn't manipulate anything. I did it with the camera on live and then I re-uploaded it. Okay. There was no manipulation. Like I've said, I've allowed people, I challenge people. I want people to discredit me. And the ones that can actually make a difference in my province in terms of the freedom fighters out here, like Liberty Talk and the Laura so-and-so and those kind of individuals, they completely ignore what I have to say because that's not their agenda. Their agenda is to gather as many supporters as they can for what it is that they're doing, which, in my opinion, a lot of it is fear porn, fear mongering, predictive programming. And that's why they don't want to come out with the actual proof and documentation of what's really going on in this province, and so that people really have something to sink their teeth in and stand up for. That's why they completely ignore me, right? They're the ones that are manipulating and doctoring the reports, okay, because they refuse to acknowledge the facts. And if they disagree with the facts, then at least they could do is have the decency with all their professionals that are on their side, working with them to do this, that, and everything else under the sun. Have those professional webmasters and this, that, and whoever to debunk what I have to say when it comes to what I've been documenting. There was nothing in there to manipulate. It was done in the manner it was done, in a way that misleads users beyond clips taken out. I didn't take nothing out of context. It was black and white and may pose a serious risk of egregious harm. I wasn't harming anybody except for maybe the provincial government, right? It's their reputation that's on the line, right? Not mine. Mine's already been dragged through the mud. I'm already in the freaking gutter. Right? I've been publicly shamed so many times that it's kind of like normal, right? Right? So, right? I'm not the one that used billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of tax dollars to commit heinous crimes and then ignore those crimes. And then when those crimes do get to court, throw them out and act like nothing happened. I don't do that, people. Scams. Content offering cash gifts. Where have I ever offered a cash gift? Get rich quick. Didn't. Right? Schemes or pyramids. Haven't. Voter suppression. Content aiming to mislead voters about the time, place. Had nothing to do with voting. BC already voted in the new Democratic Party. Right? It was done in a month. It was done through closed doors behind the freaking bushes. All right. It's amazing anyone even can consider that we even had an official election. I don't know what the hell we had. Okay. All I know is I didn't vote, and I made it a public statement that I wasn't voting for reptilian freaking shapeshifters. And if you don't like to call them that, then I'm not voting for synthetic human beings that could be of artificial intelligence or at least infected with something. I refuse to participate in a two-tiered society based on them and me and my family. We know. Go into my videos. Okay? I wasn't trying to encourage anybody to vote for anything. Candidate eligibility. How is it that what I reported on suddenly became so political? I wasn't influencing anybody to vote in any kind of manner for anybody. Never mind anywhere. Content that advises false claims related to the technical eligibility requirements for current political candidates, right? Just because you call out the provincial government of British Columbia, Canada, doesn't mean that you're promoting a particular candidate, especially when you've stepped down from the voting rolls and you've been publicly, open about why. Incitement or interfere with democratic process. Content encouraging others to interfere with democratic process, such as obstructing or interrupting voting procedures. Like I said, it was a slam dunk for the NDP, right? They got in, no problem, right? That was the plan. I wasn't influencing anybody to go back and revote as if they could. Distribution of hacked materials, content that contains hacked information. Nothing hacked. Disclosure of which may interfere with democratic. Okay, incentivize spam. Content that sells engage metrics such as views, likes, comments, or any other metric on YouTube. My channel is one of the most suppressed channels on freaking YouTube. Okay. I never go above 832 subscribers. All right. Since 11 years, people. And the only reason we got the extra 400 subscribers was because of Tommy, Truth Reality, and Tiffany Draper. If it wasn't for them helping me with Shimei and getting that information out there, I'd still be sitting at 450 freaking subscribers. Okay. After 11 years. That's how much YouTube and their staff suppress my channel. Simply because they can. They can silence, they can do anything they want with that source code. And they've done it over the years. This is just another tactic. This also includes content where only purpose is to boost subscribers. I've accepted my fate, people, right? And like I said, even if I was to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I've said this before, somehow, some way, I would take that whatever came in off of monetization or whatever, right? And I just put it in the bank and save it for the nonprofit. Let the people decide how we should spend it. I told you, this has to be a people initiative, right? I can't do it by myself. Right? I don't care. I don't need it, people. I've had so much money in my life, right? That money means nothing, right? And if poof, you're gone. Once you're dead, you're gone. That's it, right? Right? If I wait for everything to come crumbling down, because at the end of the day, it's like Shimei. Shimei was a genius. She had the genius of the IQ of a genius. Okay. Public union sector government seen that as a threat. They don't like free-spirited thinkers. They don't like thinkers of high IQ unless they can beat them down and get them to do what they want them to do. And then even then, if you don't do what the government wants you to do and do it their way, kind of like YouTube, it's right? Okay, stay focused. Where are we? 7. All right. Yahoo. Yeah. Okay. I am here to help you fight for justice. I have used some of your old content and would love to speak with you. I'm located in Columbia, South Carolina. Hooty hoo! But together we can fight for justice. Well, yeah, you that's fine. I allow embedding, right? I've been through hell and back on YouTube. I've been abused so bad that I've got, scales, right? Right? Thick skin. So, if you can use videos that help to encourage people to stay strong and come together and empower themselves and just help each other and stand for justice and, bring change, right? Create charitable initiatives that bring in program development. That's the key. Okay. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm phoning up for a U.S. intellectual property lawyer to re-register the trademark in the United States to keep that dream alive, right? As I fight my own issues. Okay. So you can send me just an email through newnationsunity@gmail.com, right? Just use my username at gmail.com. Currently, I haven't been shut down yet. I'm a little nervous to be doing videos, honestly. I was going to not do videos, honestly, but before I can honestly say to myself that what I've been saying about these fake pre-recorded live streams, I need to fact check, which I'm going to do in the next little while. And if I discovered that I made a mistake, I will publicly apologize on YouTube, right, for my mistake. But if it turns out that what I've said is true, then that information is going to the CEO of Google, and they can investigate what's going on at YouTube with my channel, because that's what it's going to take, I think, in order to get any kind of respect on YouTube. Okay. Not that I deserve respect, but you know how they say that sometimes you have to earn it, right? So that means I do have to make a few more videos with this, because I need those cards on my grid to find out where this next pre-recorded live stream is going to come in, to verify for myself first that what I'm saying is true about what my government's been doing. And if it turns out that what I say is true, then I'm going to be very adamant in standing up for those 4 people who prematurely died under false statistics and false reports, because that's what we do. Yahoo.com. We fight for justice, right? And if nobody fights for them, nobody will fight for us. Will YouTube allow me to do that? Or are they going to continue to strike me until they can wipe out my whole channel? Knowing that the probability of me finding a lawyer to help me stateside up in California to take their ass to court is very small, considering I'm a nobody sitting up in Canada, right? After they've wiped me out. So, we don't live in fear. We don't live to be afraid to face the future. I always say that, right? That's why I do these videos. Don't be afraid to face the future. Hunker down, do what you got to do, right? In terms of yard and just everyday responsibilities. And even if painful things happen to you, don't be afraid to share those experiences with other people, because nobody is immune to having bad things happen to them, especially now with the things that are going on in the world, right? Let's go back and continue reading on this for a little while longer, because I'm very curious to know where I went wrong. Comments spam. Comments where the sole purpose is to gather personal information from viewers. Don't do that. I have my core crew of friends, members and friends. We know there's that offshoot of trolls that just don't like me and are paid to stalk me or whatever it may be. But outside of that, like I said, I've accepted my fate on YouTube of being shadow banned, oppressed, whatever, with my 832 subscribers. That stays like that for years, because ultimately YouTube, in my opinion, wouldn't want me to become successful and give back to the community. Through my success, the community benefits. They don't want that to happen. because they want to control the community. They don't want the community to be self-empowered. Right? Money coming in on this channel helps to self-empower the community. If it got to the point where I was completely broke and I had no money, let's just say 5 years goes by and I'm still on YouTube because the CEO of Google got involved. Okay. And I'm now magically monetized and we've got super chat going on and we've got money in the bank. And I'm like, April, right? Or Lucy or yahoo.com. Like we got like $2,000 sitting in the bank in the YouTube account. What are we going to do with it? That's my route. That's the route I would take. And then of course, us women or men, the group, right? We're going to decide where the best place to spend that money in order to empower not only us, but our community. And that's not all the other things that we can do, because don't forget, I have 2 federal trademark names with a long list of shit that we can do. We just have to have that starting point, right? We haven't gotten to that starting point yet. Because for some reason it represents fucking, I don't know. All I know is I'm sitting on 832 viewers as YouTube is getting ready to shut down my channel after they basically oppressed me for 11 years. And now they're just going to throw away 2,114 videos as they do it under ambiguous accusations. But if for some reason in 5 years from now, you know, we've gotten the money, we did a little of this, we did a little of that, and money's still coming in on the channel, and I'm still alive, and it, you know, might something out here sockatoos me, right? Because you never know when I'm going to get hit, right? In terms of anything, people. I don't want to get into it. Go into my videos. That's all you have to see, the truth of what happens. And I'm like, okay, people, I am completely broke. I'm going to be homeless tomorrow unless I come up with my rent. I'm sorry. After 5 years of donating all this money on this channel, even though it's all under contract now, because I try and work in contracts, right, where it's legal. So getting a lawyer isn't necessarily a bad thing. It could be a very good thing. We just don't want a greedy lawyer, right? But if we can build up the channel, right, and have that little bit of surplus to be able to pay the lawyer, you know, we could go a long way, right? But you see, I don't get that chance with YouTube. That's not what they're about. So anyway, but if I felt I needed that money because I was so desperate for it and I had no other means, then yeah, I'd come onto YouTube and I'd say, okay, people, you know, I need a little bit of money here. And, you know, I have been charitable all these years and I have donated all this money and, you know, I've never asked for anything. And, you know, I'm going to be, you know, end up this or blah and came, and, you know, and it was legitimate. It was a legitimate request. Then, yeah, maybe I could see myself taking that money. But outside of that, people, I don't need it. I really don't. That's not why I started the nonprofit. I had a dream. I dreamt that I was going to help to generate $1 million. It wasn't my money, but I was a key instrument in generating that $1 million. And then once the million came, the rest was a cakewalk. There was no stopping it. In other words, there was more millions coming. But nobody wants me to get to the first million because it's too much of a political threat. And I do feel like my family's paid a big price for it, because if you notice, half my family is gone now. Medically kidnapped, illegally, wrongfully apprehended, murdered, lured to their death. Right? That's not all done by coincidence, people. That was staged. Public humiliation, time after time after time. Accounts frozen on YouTube that never fucking move, as they're now coming in threatening to shut down your fucking channel through psychological warfare with ambiguity. So there was no comments. Comments where the sole purpose is to gather personal information from viewers, misleading, drive viewers off of YouTube. Nobody is obligated to watch my videos. If I come into strangers in public and I want them to know about my channel, and I warn them that I do swear, I tend to cuss, right? Outside of that, or I get passionate about some of the things that I talk about, right? So there's no surprises, right? They're not obligated to be subscribers. They're not obligated to watch my videos. They're not obligated to take everything I say as gospel, right? Or perform any of the prohibited behaviors noted above. Repetitive comments, leaving large amounts of identical to untargeted or repetitive comments. Now, the only thing that I can think of in this case is when I do my videos, we know we've got the notice of claim. Once in a while, I'll put a video up in there that relates to a more like related video from like a day or two ago, just so that you don't have to go back into the, right? You can find it. Outside of that, everything else below the notice of claim is what the petition for Shimei, the video that was done by Truth for Reality. And then, of course, some of the things that went on with Sierra, because, I find that to be very disturbing. And, there needs to be an investigation around that. And there needs to be follow up on that. And it's hard for me to move forward on it because it requires me to write basically another lawsuit if I want any kind of justice for Sierra. Because as it is, the coroner phoned me up, said she had fentanyl in her system. C'est la vie. End of case. So for all that drama that they did with Sierra's body behind that closed door, kicking us out, making us stand out in the freaking porch in the rain with the big cop, guarding the door with the freaking, body boot dude bag guy running up and down the stairs, looking at his cell phone, doing freaking hand signals, smiling in his fucking, just smiling, looking in the cell phone, doing his little hand signals. I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you something, right? And then just to have the coroner call you up, say, oh, yeah, it was fentanyl. End of case. She did it to herself. We knew it was coming. Yeah, okay. That's why you couldn't wait to get her out and autopsy her, open her up. Because I'm telling you, people, they're taking out organs out here, and they're doing it illegally. Am I going to get shut down by YouTube because I talk about that stuff? Because these freedom fighters out here in British Columbia, Canada, Liberty Talk, and those kind of people, they're not going to talk about that stuff. No, there's a reason why they won't talk about it. But we won't falsely accuse people of heinous crimes, right? But we need to ask ourselves why they won't. Why they won't talk about illegal organ harvesting any more than they won't talk about governments doing fake pre-recorded live streams and then restreaming them 1 week later with false death statistics. They won't talk about that either. And there's a reason for it. Tammy, the USA love you. Well, that's why I'm going to hang in there. Okay, so let's just read a little more. Everyone falling off the grid there, but that's okay. So anyway, maybe what I should do is add the link because this video is probably getting too long. Feeling sorry for myself, right? Live stream abuse, live stream. Well, it wasn't a live stream. It was just a simple recording. I don't do very much live streams because they're difficult to navigate through, especially on a StreamYard. XSplit. I like XSplit. It's just everything needs to be lined up with the hotkeys and everything. And, it's just, I need to spend more time with it. So anyway, I don't know how they striked me to I just don't know how this I just don't know how this applies to that video, people. I don't. Right? How does it apply? Don't you think I have a right to know exactly where I went wrong before they give me a permanent warning? Because what they've done now, and this is the point here. So let me bring up this. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, let me go here. Let me see. Okay, channel dashboard. Hold on. I'm going to bring you here. I'm going to show you how they are psychologically tormenting me. Okay? After being on YouTube for 11 years, establishing my own personality, right? You know, standing my ground, being real, being 100% upfront, you know, trying to be positive through hard times, whatever it may be. I've been a real trooper. I've been YouTube's bitch, okay? I've done pretty much everything that YouTube has wanted me to do in order to be able to promote their site, even though they're not making any money off of me. The point is, you know, I've contributed to their format. Okay? I've contributed to their format, which adds to their success. All right. Let's see. See, I told you, 832. That never changes. Okay? Right? If anything, it will drop. I get every couple of days, it will drop 1 or 2, and then it stays like that, and then it will go back up 1 or 2. Once in a blue moon, I'll drop like 15, 19 subscribers all in a day, just gone. And then over a period of a week or so, they might climb up a little bit more, but they always cap at 829, 830. 832 is the most I've ever had. And that number will drop by tonight or tomorrow. It will go to 829, 830. Like it's like that every week. Nothing changes. It's psychological, right? Okay. And then you can see it says active. Do you see where, if I put my mouse there, let me just see. I can't put my mouse there. Okay. If you look up where it says channel dashboard on the left-hand upper of your screen, it says channel violations. If you want to look there, you can see you get that little warning thing. It's kind of almost like it's flashing so that you never forget. This is what I mean by psychological warfare. Okay. What have I done so bad that I need to be reminded that there's something wrong with my channel? Okay. Again, just be YouTube's bitch, right? You know, it's like smacking you. Okay. It's like fucking throwing you up against the wall. You do as you're told, because if you don't do as you're told, you're going to get worse. You're going to get it fucking worse. Okay. This is a reminder that I'm going to get it worse if I don't do what I'm told, even though I'm not being told what to do. Okay. Because they cut me off. They cut me off. They cut off that video, not because of something that I was trying to, you know, run a scam or, you know, right? You know, people that come to my channel are basically the same people over and over again, being that my viewership never goes any higher than 832 individuals. Outside of that one working at YouTube with their own fucking file folder, looking at all my videos, just waiting to pounce and penalize me. And now that they've got me with their little flashing warning sign that never goes away. Apparently this thing never goes away, people. Okay? Because the next time it happens, right, it's what it's going to do is it's going to give me a strike the next time. They've made it where no matter, and it will happen again because YouTube just randomly does it every now and then. Right? Because of the, you know, because of my personality, people. They don't like strong, opinionated, intelligent, smart individuals educating the masses for all the right reasons. I mean, obviously, I'm not reaching the masses, but you can't change a leopard's spots. Right? Is it a leopard? Leopard. Right? Or a tiger's stripes. You right? They can't make me into something that I am not. They want me to. That's why they're psychologically torturing me now with their warning. I'm waiting for that to hit now. 2,114 videos plus out the fucking door. They've got me on the run. Kind of like when I go out in my community and I want to go buy milk. You're not allowed in the store unless you're freaking wearing a mask. It won't be long before they come and say, well, you're not allowed to come into the store unless you've been injected with that Tundra vaccine that's been in deep freeze, at 70 degrees below zero. You can't have milk, Miss Chorney, unless you get that Tundra vaccine. It sounds like something that came from the freaking tundra deep down in the ground. And that's why they gotta keep it frozen. Am I going to get penalized for saying that because that's how I interpret what they're trying to inject into my family's bodies and my body? And not say anything about it because I might get a strike? There is a loophole in everything. Yeah, well, it's called the CEO of freaking Google. Get him involved. Get him to investigate fucking YouTube staff. Because this is not at arm's length at all. This is specific targeting. I have documented proof of lots of shit that YouTube has allowed to happen on my channel. And I do believe, in part, it was just as a test channel for them to bring in their troll networks to come in with their 15, 18, 25 thumbs later, all on a inconspicuous video that was simply talking about making jam. And I'm getting 25 thumbs down. Making jam. Or talking about Uncle John. It didn't matter what the subject matter was. The point is I was getting those 18, 20. I have printouts of YouTube showing exactly the activity while YouTube did nothing, absolutely nothing to protect my channel or myself. If anything, they encourage it. And that's documented with Julian's sister, because they do absolutely nothing with the shit that she does, even though it falls under everything that they're accusing me of doing. Right? So the loophole is I have no choice. I have to write the CEO of Google, asking him to get those videos taken down, being that YouTube won't do it. Simply because it's spamming the search engine on Google with Google images, where that individual has absolutely no right to be, because we're dealing with federal trademarks that actually do represent something. Because if it ever gets to 1,000 subscribers and we're into super chat now, and somebody made a $5 donation, I can tell you, I wouldn't take it unless I came to you and said, look, oh, my life is falling apart. I'm so fucking broke. I don't know what to do. Boo-hoo-hoo. I need that money. Can I take that money? Because I've invested $40,000 into freaking community activism and trademarks and nonprofits and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I need a little something back. Otherwise, it's going to be poof and I'm going to be gone and nothing will come about. Or we're going to let it accumulate and we're going to get on with the business of doing the right thing and building in community programs that benefit communities in the United States and Canada, right? But you see, I always figure it's going to happen faster in the United States because they have the grassroots individuals out there that are the real shakers and movers. And when they put their mind to it, they can really make a difference. We're out here, everybody is off to their corner, hiding out with their tails between their legs, or they're leading the general public down a different path that distracts them away from things that they should be thinking about. So it's not going to happen out here because I'm basically alone. But that doesn't mean that I don't believe in the American people, with them stepping up to the plate and building in those grassroots movements that actually do bring in programs for the community that are delegated by them. And this channel, if it was monetized one way or another, would help to facilitate that to happen. But you see, YouTube doesn't want that to happen. They've never wanted that to happen. And that's why they keep it at 832. That's why they allow people to publicly humiliate me time after time, year after year. That's why they partner up with agencies and contact groups, aka GOVERNMENTS, to shadow ban and to manipulate and to falsely accuse and to penalize and to terrorize psychologically, right? So that you shut up and you become the bitch, right? On the puppet string, right? Right? That little warning is a slap on my face every time I fucking open up this page now. That's exactly what it is, because apparently it never goes away. It never goes away for something that they're not even telling me what I did wrong. They just didn't like what I was saying. And now they've opened up the door where they can simply come in 3 times more and wipe out my whole channel as they completely 110% trash federal trademark names, because they're not being held accountable for the misinformation that they allow their financial supporters like governments and those kind of things to not, put out fake information. If anything, they encourage it. So when you look at that, I'm going to close this off here now pretty soon. I'm tired. I really should go outside. This stuff drains me though, right? When you look at that, knowing what you know, and knowing that you're like a salmon in a stream, only man has built a means where you can't get through to where you're supposed to go as a salmon to multiply. Right? You're stuck. YouTube has had me in a stuck state for a very, very, very long time. Okay? And really, I want to break away from an abusive relationship. So, here, hold on. Let me do this. Let me try something else. I'm just saying, because if I wanted to be in an abusive relationship, I'd be in one. Right? I'd be in one. Okay? In terms of, I'd be with a man that was abusing me. And I'm not. I'm not with a man that abuses me. Okay? All right. Let me change this over. Hold on. You have to exit out. You got to stop the screen. And then you have to go back in and you have to redo it again. Right? And then we'll bring up this. All right. There we go. I guess you can see me. Oh, no. Okay. You can see that. I Googled New Nations Unity. All right. If I didn't do what I did in 1999 and 2000, I wouldn't be here today. Okay. Let's just face it. All right. Now, let me get on to that. So here we got, what do we got? Let's go to the beginning. Wow. What's the first thing that you see? What's the first thing that's promoted on Google search when you search New Nations Unity? YouTube. Isn't that interesting? Why? I guess they don't mind cutting themselves off at the foot, right? When they delete my channel, that will go away, right? I guess I'm too much of an embarrassment to them, right? As if they got a handle on those 400 hours being uploaded onto YouTube every minute of the day. And I'm the one that's the problem. And then, of course, we've got the foundation website, which I never have no time working on. I wish I could find somebody to help me, but I can't. I'm thinking to try and do it for myself, but we know that what I think and what I do are different things because there's other things I have to do. But it would be nice to revamp and rebuild and add on. And, you know, I haven't given up hope, people. I haven't. And then we've got Twitter, which I stopped using a long time ago. Right? And then we've got stat summary profile. Okay, we got that. And then, you know, verification, legitimate trademark. It's not like I'm faking the funk. And when I put in my trademark infringement complaints in with YouTube, I gave them the official paperwork, right, for Canada and the USA, and they ignored it. Said that their legal team didn't think it was infringing and that if I should do anything, I should file bully complaints, which YouTube completely ignored. And then we've got images for New Nations Unity. Okay. We've got Facebook, which I don't do nothing with because. And then if you notice down there, do you see that? It says New Nations Unity, brand new tube. Now, based on YouTube's community guidelines, psychological warfare, I got to be YouTube's bitch here. If I make a mistake, I'm going to get punished, right? I'm going to get the axe, right? In terms of they're going to strike me, right? Right? So if I click on that New Nations Unity, brand new tube, right? Because I've been testing the waters. You know, I've been opening up a few accounts here and there just in the event of, right? Just because of some of the heavy duty serious stuff that I talk about, you know, right? It's not like I'm not on guard. But yeah, talking into the camera. I'm talking into the camera and all you see is that. So anyway, okay. So I opened up this and there are 2 videos on there, right? Just testing the waters. I think it's limited to the bandwidth in terms of, you know, your the amount of bandwidth on your video, right? Well, I don't know about bandwidth, but anyway, if I was to click on that video right now, that link, would YouTube come in and remove this whole live stream for redirecting the people, the three people that are watching this video to a different website? Would YouTube do that? Even though that directly relates to me and the trademarks? Huh? Like, I'm afraid to open up that link, people. This is what YouTube has done. I'm afraid to open up my own link because it's redirecting us to go look somewhere else because of what YouTube's been doing to countless numbers of other people. And knowing what I know with them shadow banning and censoring and oppressing and, taking away subscribers and keeping me locked at, with certain amount of subscribers, publicly humiliating me, allowing Julian's sister to continue doing what she does so that, there's always that cloud cast over me so that others can prosper as I am abused. I'm like the little sacrificial lamb here for YouTube. Right? So I just want you to point that out. So I was thinking of maybe uploading just, last night. Okay, it's called what? Brand YouTube. And I'm like, okay, you got 2 videos on there right now. It relates directly to government lying. Okay. What? Am I going to get video cut down because I said that, people? Right? And I'm like, okay, you don't want to do any more videos that much on YouTube because you're not going to be their bitch, right? You've been on there too long. You've worked too hard. You've put out, 200,000% effort into what you've been working on all these years. You've taken a lot of flack for it. You've been beat up over it so many times that you can't even count. And, but you don't have to stay in an abusive relationship. You're not required. Right? So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking this last night. I'm like, okay, so I've got this new site where I can upload videos, right? Now I'm not trying to recreate the wheel here. I don't feel like I should have to take my videos from YouTube and re-upload them somewhere else in order for them to stay. I feel like I've earned my right to keep what I have on YouTube, even if it means I stop making YouTube videos so that I don't get any strikes. Do you see? So that information remains out there because it is the history of the nonprofit, right? Go into my videos. I've said it before. I don't make the story up. I just tell the story as it unfolds, right? Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, you start fresh. You're starting fresh. So how do you start fresh? And I'm like, okay, well, you've been saying that, you want to, put on some earrings and put on a nice sequins little outfit and maybe a little bit of makeup and, have your nice big salt rock in the background and and maybe what you should do, because I've only got 2 videos up on that, and I'm like, well, maybe before you get too deep into it, right? Because we know I can get deep with shit, right? Maybe before you get too deep into it, maybe you should do an introduction video so that people coming into that particular website, onto those particular channels, they might want to go to the first 1 or 2 videos, 3 videos, and find the introduction and introduce myself as, hey, this is who I am. This is what I've been working on. This is blah, 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 right? And just kind of give a roundabout, introduction as to why I'm even there in the first place and what I plan on doing with that channel, which would be to continue to document what YouTube is taking down. So if I'm sitting here on YouTube, and I see something because I'm not outside busting my butt in 2 degrees weather below 0, right? And I'm recording something before I would upload it onto YouTube again and have them give me a strike because, we know that they have ulterior motives. I would take that video and I might upload it onto that new site where it would be safer, but at least the information gets out there. Because that's what's most important. Something that YouTube doesn't seem to care about. That's my dilemma. And I shouldn't have to be that way, people. It shouldn't. But it's kind of coming down to that. Right? So I'm like, just like I want, like I'm busy, I know, but I want to do some stuff with the paper, with the wipeout. Just haven't had time yet, people. Right? To bring it all together. Right? Whatever it is that I'm talking about. not just randomly spewing out this and spewing out that, right? That's why I bring in the visualization, because it's your opportunity to debunk me or prove me wrong, right? Not just fucking silence me so they can continue and they don't get caught. And those people that died prematurely don't get justice. So anyway, we've got that. So I'm leaning now more towards following up on what I'm working on. Right. Doing that there. Which leads me to doing trivial things like yard work, like cutting up the pumpkin and cooking it and smashing it and draining it and freezing it and talking about how people should have food security in their house. That's what I'm limited down to. Making vanilla bean extract, nothing of real substance. Because that's where YouTube has basically put me in order to be safe without having my channel being jeopardized. Because as it is right now, YouTube is up in front. They're in charge. It's almost like they own the trademark. And I'm just their bitch. And if I don't jump the hoops that they give me to jump, they're going to remove themselves and oppress 11 years of history that relate to the foundation. And when I talk to these lawyers, because it depends what the first lawyer says. If I have to go through a handful of them before I can find one that can actually work with me, I have no choice, people. I have to. It's either that or let the trademark go in the United States. And I don't think I'm going to do that. It's not something I want to do, not after all this time. I don't care what YouTube does. YouTube doesn't own me. YouTube doesn't control me. None of that shit. And if my lawyer, that's going to help me to do another 10 years of registration, finds that somehow, some way, YouTube is in the wrong and want to take on the case to restore justice for community wellness at the end of the day, right? You got to take the bad with the good. I'm sorry there's been more bad in my life, but that's not to say we still can't have good. Okay? That's the foot that I walk on, right? We don't know. So what I'm going to do, though, because I want to fact check what I've been saying, and if I find out that I'm wrong, I'm woman enough to admit that I'm wrong, and I will correct the wrong. But if I find out I'm true, it's true what I've been saying in terms of how source HTML code works as it goes through the internet and the browsers read the source code, and I find out that I'm right, well, you're going to see what I'm going to do with that. And in the meantime, I will do the vanilla extract, because I was actually looking forward to doing that, right, with my friends, my YouTube friends, right? I've been waiting a long time to do that. And I do want to show you when the time comes to mail out these boxes, one to Massachusetts and one up to the interior in British Columbia, Canada. There's actually a couple of other ones, but my papers are so mixed up, man. It's so hard for me to keep track of things. But now winter's coming. I'm going to start getting into the paperwork, organizing it, logging it down, logging it, getting it ready for documents. And I'm going to start reading again, people. Briefly reading the Criminal Code of Canada. I'll show you. Just hold on. I'm going to show you what I'm going to skim through. Like, how many times do you have to do this?
Do what?
See? Work on that stuff. And just get on with business. 2 hours and 8 minutes. That was a long live stream. So what's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen? What do you think's going to happen when I get this turned off? Images for New Nations Unity. Okay? See, they're taking out, they're not even putting my stuff in here. Like, look at this. What is this? Some of this stuff doesn't even relate to anything. Right? Talk about being spammed. What's this new world? Cool kids clothes. New world. Look at this. They're wiping me out. They're taking out all my stuff. Yep. What's this? You just get these, I don't know, these random things. Anyway. So you can see what's going on there. 3/4 of the stuff there doesn't even belong to me. Right? Just being hijacked. What am I doing now? Why has it changed? Okay. I'm shutting this off now. I don't know what's going to happen. I think I made my point. All right. Anyone want to say anything? I know I kept it on for too long. Kind of repeated myself a few times. Right. This is serious stuff. What's going on in the world. And people have a right to stand up for themselves. So, peace out.